Hey guys, Mike Ciroli, P through Z for a class of 2022. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about the admissions tab in Naviance and scattergrams more specifically. So as you may have learned already from Ms. Bauer or Mr. King about how to search through and find some colleges and save them to your colleges you're thinking about, which is the heart. You can go in and kind of compare some of these schools from an admission standpoint. So I've saved three of them here. University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, U of I, Illinois State, and Northwestern, all three here in Illinois. So you will open one of these up. U of I we'll start with. And once you get in, you see all the great information that we have here, the overview, studies, student life. I'm going to talk about this admissions tab particularly. So we have a reminder if you're a senior, what your deadlines are, application fee, the acceptance rate in general. And then you scroll down, we have our school's application history. Now this is nice because these are actual LT students, so that's helpful. As well as the scattergram below, which is also LT students. You'll see a lot of red X's for denied students. Waitlisted are these blue dots, and the green checks are people that got accepted. Now, you'll always be able to go to the graph and see the average of accepted students. The average SAT is 13.44 and GPA 4.64 on a weighted scale for our LT students. Now, this is very helpful because when you look in national guidelines and any kind of GPA information that's out there that's not through Naviance, it's going to be many different schools that may have different GPA scales. So these are our actual students. It's also important to remember if you're a sophomore or a junior, you haven't had a lot of your grades yet. So your junior year grades, many of them are weighted. So if you're below where you want to be, this is a good chance for your year to kind of boost that up. Another thing to remember about U of I in particularly is that many students are not just applying for general admission, but applying to a particular school within a school. So some programs are more difficult to get into others at the U of I. In general, this gives you a good idea of where you're at and roughly your chances on any given year of getting in. Now, it's not a make or break, a guideline to use in determining how difficult it may be to gain admission. Now, I'm also going to look at Illinois State. Kind of the same thing here. Some schools will have more than others on their overview page. Some schools will have just photos. Some will have actual videos that you can watch. Illinois State, same thing, deadline, how much the application fee, much higher acceptance rate there. We also have our LT students, how many applied, how many accepted, how many enrolled over the past few years. And that translates into our scattergram down here. You can see the average is a little bit lower to get into Illinois State University. And the final one I'm going to show you is Northwestern. So Northwestern, great school, considered highly selective in that it accepts less than 10% of the students that apply. 8% precisely, and as we scroll down, you can see it's hard to get into that school. So we're going to go down here, and amongst the people that have gotten in, they've averaged a 1503 and a 506. So you can also see that some folks are equally as talented as others and not getting in. That's kind of the case with some of these highly selective schools. So we do encourage you, if you are looking at highly selective schools, to diversify a bit. If you're going to be looking at all highly selective schools, you may get into many or all, or you may get into none. So it's important to have a bit of a diverse list. So that's kind of just a wrap up on the admissions tab in Naviance. Once again, keep exploring your colleges and reaching out to the counseling staff with any questions. Welcome back to this year and have a great year.